All right, let's talk Excel. We're about to completely change the way you use it. I mean, are you tired of that endless clicking and dragging with your mouse? Yeah? Well, stick around, because in the next few minutes, we are going to turn you into a keyboard master, and I promise it's going to save you hours of tedious work. So let's just dive right in. So, does this sound familiar? You've got this massive spreadsheet open, right? And you're trying to select just one little block of data, but your mouse slips, you grab the wrong cells, and you have to start all over again. It is so frustrating. Well, guess what? That exact problem is what we are here to solve for good.
Okay, that struggle, it ends today. Seriously, we're going to show you exactly how to take back control using your keyboard. This is going to make every single selection you do fast, super precise, and completely error-free. It really is time to start working smarter, not harder.
So here's our game plan, and it's super simple. First, we'll nail down the basics. What are cells and ranges? Then, we'll master the art of selection with some awesome shortcuts. After that, we'll see how to actually shape our data, adding and deleting stuff. And finally, we'll wrap up with a few expert tips. All right, let's get to it. All right, first things first, the basics. You gotta walk before you can run, right? Well, in Excel, mastering these two simple concepts, the cell and the range, that's the walking part. This is the absolute foundation you need to become a real Excel power user. So everything, and I mean everything in Excel starts with the cell. It's that single little box where you can put anything you want, some text, a number, a complex formula, you name it. A good way to think of it is like the basic atom of your spreadsheet. It's just that spot where a column and a row meet, like A1 or B2. Okay, so how do we actually select one of these cells? Well, you already know method number one. You just click it with the mouse. Easy enough. Method two is using the arrow keys on your keyboard to move around. But for real, pinpoint precision, you can type the cell's address right into the name box. That little box in the top left, hit enter, and boom, you are instantly there. No hunting around. This is where things start to get really powerful. We can group cells together into something called a range. And the key, the little piece of magic here, is the colon. So when you see A2 colon A12, it doesn't just mean cell A2 and cell A12. No, it means every single cell from A2 all the way down to A12. Understanding this one little symbol is absolutely fundamental. And look, here's why that matters so much. Think about it. Whether you're trying to change some fonts, copy a block of data, or write a simple sum formula, everything depends on you selecting the right range first. Getting this one step right is the most critical part of making Excel work for you, instead of feeling like you're fighting against it. Okay, foundation is built. You get cells, you get ranges. Now for the really fun part. In this section, we're diving into the keyboard shortcuts. And I'm not kidding, these are going to fundamentally change your workflow and save you a ridiculous amount of time. Let's start simple, selecting a whole row. Now the slow way, the way we've all done it, is to drag your mouse all the way to the left and click on the row number. The fast way? Click on any cell in that row and just hit Shift plus the spacebar. Bam! The entire row is instantly selected, no mouse needed. And it's the exact same story for columns. You can move your mouse all the way to the top and click the column letter, or you can just click any cell in that column and hit Ctrl plus the spacebar. It is just that simple. Seriously, try it a couple of times right now. You'll build that muscle memory and you will never go back to the mouse for this. Okay, ready to level up? Let's get into some advanced selections. What if you need to select multiple areas that aren't even touching? Just hold down the Control key while you click and drag. Easy. Now, to instantly grab whole blocks of data, use Control and Shift with your arrow keys. This is a game changer. And for the ultimate power move, use Control, Shift, and End. That'll select everything from your current cell to the very last piece of data on your sheet. So, believe it or not, there are at least seven different ways to select an entire table of data in Excel. But really, who has the time or brain space to remember all 7? So we're going to cut right through the noise and focus on the 3 absolute best, fastest methods that you will ever actually need. Okay, here they are. First up, the classic. Control plus A. Most people know this one. Just remember the trick. Press it once to get your current table, press it a second time to get the entire worksheet. Now, the real pro move is Control plus the asterisk. And another fantastic alternative is Control, Shift, and Spacebar. Honestly, between these 3, you can handle pretty much any situation you'll run into. All right, so you've totally mastered selection. You can grab anything you want. What's next? Well, now you get to act on it. Let's take these new skills and use them to instantly shape our data. I'm talking adding and deleting rows and columns in a flash. This right here is where it all clicks into place. I want you to think of it like a simple two-step combo. Step 1 is always select. So for a row, that's Shift plus spacebar, right? Got it selected. Now step 2, act. If you need to add a new row above it, you just hit Control, Shift, and the plus key. Want to get rid of that row? Just Control and the minus key. And it works the exact same way for columns. You select with Control plus spacebar, then you act with Control Shift plus to add or Control minus to delete. This simple select, then act workflow, that is the secret to incredible speed in Excel. Okay, you've officially mastered the essentials. You're already faster than most Excel users out there. But now, let's look at a couple of expert tricks. These are the kinds of techniques that really separate the pros from everyone else. This stuff is going to make you look like a straight-up Excel wizard. Okay, this next one is genuinely one of my all-time favorites. Forget cutting and pasting columns. It's slow and clunky. Instead, try this. First, select the entire column with Control plus space. Got it? Now, move your mouse to the border of that selection. See how the cursor changes? Now for the magic part. Hold down the Shift key and just click and drag that entire column to its new home. Let go, and it just snaps into place. It's so fast, it honestly feels like a magic trick. And here's a really interesting pro tip, especially for international users. In some versions of Excel, like the Turkish one, the standard Control plus shortcut for adding rows just doesn't work. So what do? You can use an older legacy menu shortcut, hitting Alt, then E, then S in sequence. It's a great reminder that if one of these modern shortcuts ever fails you, these old-school menu commands are an awesome alternative to have in your back pocket. So, as we start to wrap this up, if there's one single thing I want you to take away from all this, it's this. In Excel, your keyboard is your most powerful tool. It's your best friend. Yeah, the mouse is fine for pointing at stuff, but the keyboard, that's what's built for speed, for precision, and for having ultimate control over your data. So there you have it. You've got the toolkit now. The only question left is, which one of these shortcuts are you going to try first? Look, the best way to make these second nature, to build that muscle memory, is to just start, right now. Open up a spreadsheet, pick one shortcut, and just use it. The very next hour you save because of it, that's your reward.